Hey, Deepwater, have some important information I need to bring your way today. This afternoon, we received a phone call from Public Health and then a subsequent follow-up letter advising us that there was a potential COVID exposure at the 9:30 gathering in Dartmouth on Sunday, November 7th. Not this past Sunday, the 14th, but 10 days ago on November the 7th. What do we know? Well, we know at least one person was present in that gathering who tested positive for COVID-19. And we know that because of that, Public Health has given those who are present some protocols to follow. More on those in a second. What we don't know is who it was or if it was more than one person. We don't know if they were vaccinated or not. We don't know if they had symptoms or not. We don't know if the exposure was primarily in our main kind of a gathering for adults or in our kids' space or potentially both. That level of detail is not something that Public Health provides due to privacy concerns. And we don't know if there's been any sort of additional spread because of the exposure that happened. So what are we doing as a church? Well, we're notifying everyone we can about the potential exposure and asking those who were present that day to please read and fully comply with the recommendations of Public Health. Those recommendations are in a letter that is connected with this video. So if you're seeing this on social media, it'll be there in the comments. If you are receiving this in our email newsletter, The Loop, it will be attached to this email. Please, if you were present at that gathering, read and fully follow the recommendations of Public Health. And we're going to continue as a church, as we've been doing all through this pandemic, to follow all the guidelines and recommendations of Public Health that are relevant to the gatherings that we have. Public Health has not recommended that we cease holding gatherings for some period of time. We've actually had multiple gatherings since this exposure. Again, we're finding out about this about an hour and a half ago and just got the letter about 20 minutes ago. And it was 10 days ago. So we've had all kinds of gatherings, and people who were there, who are a higher risk to spread or whatever, they've been advised in the letter that you're going to all read, hopefully, if you were there. They've been advised to self-isolate if necessary, to go get tested. And so I wanted to be clear that although we're not taking a break from our events or gatherings, if you are there and you're supposed to isolate, that includes not coming to church. If you are there and you're supposed to get tested, please wait till you get that negative test result before you show up again. So what else can or should we be doing? Well, at least one person in our congregation is sick with COVID, and I don't know who they are, don't need to, but let's be praying for them that they would get better soon. And if they're still sick, that they would get back on their feet shortly. And if you were at our worship gathering, again, in Dartmouth at 9:30 on November 7th, please, please, please read the attached letter and follow the guidelines laid out there. If you're required to test and isolate, please do not attend any events at Deepwater until you get that negative test result back. If you book your test today, there's every chance you'll have your results back in time to still come to church on Sunday, provided those results are negative. So please get on that. Even if you're not required to get a test, you are still eligible to if you were present that day. And going and getting that test would be a great thing to do. And I would personally appreciate it. Just great to make sure we know what's going on there as much as possible. If you know someone who is at that gathering, again, 9:30 Sunday morning in Dartmouth, November the 7th. If you know someone who is there who doesn't receive The Loop or who doesn't follow us on Facebook, maybe a friend or family member you had visit with you that weekend or whatever, please make sure this information gets into their hands. Relay this information to them. We want to make sure that everybody who was there is aware of this exposure and can respond in accordance with the guidelines of Public Health. There's a whole lot of press these days in our province about Christians who are not taking COVID seriously and not doing everything they can to show love to their neighbors by helping to limit the spread of COVID. And frankly, I think this is a really cool chance for those who are present in Dartmouth at 9:30 on November the 7th to show we care about the most vulnerable people in our community, and to step up and do the right thing to help those who would be most impacted if they were to contract this virus. So I want to again just encourage you, follow all the guidelines and recommendations of public health. If you were there, read the letter, do what it says. If anything changes, if we receive any updates or additional notifications, anything like that, you will hear about it ASAP. We're committed to open, clear, and thorough communication around any sorts of exposure events at Deepwater, or any activities, gatherings, meetings, events connected to our church. So yeah, other than that, let's continue to pray for those who are sick, those of you who are at the gathering, follow the guidelines, and let's just pray that this is an issue that's resolved quickly and with minimal issues. Love you. Bye.